Good evening, you're watching News Today at 9 p.m. I'm Preeti Choudhry, and a big talking point this evening. It's on the eve of Delhi elections, viewers. The Aam Aadmi Party, the BJP, even the Congress, all in a race for the middle class vote. Do freebies influence middle class voters? Does the middle class feel ignored by our Netas? Last time around, 2020, the quintessential middle class, mostly always seen as a BJP vote bank, 55% of that in Delhi. 2020 elections voted for the Aam Aadmi Party. The Aam Aadmi Party today tried to make a play for that vote bank again. We're going to break it down. The capital clash or the Delhi dangal has only got more intense with just days left for the Delhi grand finale. It was an all-out Narendra Modi versus Arvind Kejriwal face-off in the national capital today. In an attempt to woo the middle-class voter, Kejriwal launched a 7-point demand manifesto to the centre. A demand manifesto. There are manifestos, and then there are Sankalp Patras, and then there are also demand manifestos. Well, the demand of Arvind Kejriwal in this manifesto was from the Prime Minister and the central government, accusing the ruling party of rampant corruption. But why is the middle class vote crucial? We decode for you.
Delhi is a unique state. At 4.61 lakh rupees, the per capita income of the national capital is third only to Goa and Sikkim. Going by that stat, the Delhi citizens' income is more than 2 times the national average. A large chunk of the city population is middle class, and unlike other assembly polls, this group can play a decisive role in the outcome. And when the union budget is scheduled just 4 days before voting, political parties are already speculating about what the Narendra Modi government might do to woo the middle class. Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal on Wednesday launched a preemptive strike of sorts by issuing a list of demands in support of the middle class. These are: increase education allocation from 2% to 10% budget, cap private school fees, subsidy and scholarship for higher studies, increase health allocation to 10% of budget, remove tax on health insurance, increase income tax exemption limit to 10 lakh rupees, remove GST on essential items, retirement plan and pension for senior citizens, and 50% concession on train tickets for senior citizens.
मिडिल क्लास के लिए ये लोग कुछ करते तो नहीं है, लेकिन जब जब सरकार को इनकी जरूरत पड़ती है, तब तब मिडिल क्लास के ऊपर सरकार हथियार चला देती है, चाकू चला देती है, और ये हथियार है टैक्स। लाखों करोड़ों की संख्या में मिडिल क्लास टैक्स भर भर के देता है देश चलाने के लिए, लेकिन बदले में मिडिल क्लास को क्या मिलता है? कुछ नहीं। भारत का मिडिल क्लास सरकार का सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक एटीएम बन के रह गया है। सच बात तो ये है, the Indian middle class is victim of tax terrorism.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with BJP's booth-level workers. While the Prime Minister spoke about a range of issues, he too explained what the centre has done for the middle class. Just last week, the Union Cabinet had cleared the setting up of the 8th Pay Commission, which will recommend hikes in salaries for central government employees.
हमने दिल्ली के मध्यम वर्ग की एस्पिरेशन को एड्रेस किया है। आज दिल्ली में चप्पे चप्पे तक मेट्रो पहुंची है, नेशनल हाईवे और एक्सप्रेसवे का जाल है, ये सब भारत सरकार कर रही है। दिल्ली के टॉप 10 बड़े अस्पतालों में से अधिकतर भारत सरकार के जिम्मे है। ये आपदा वालों ने अपना एक भी दायित्व दिल्ली में निभाया नहीं।
The Delhi voter is unpredictable. The BJP swept all 7 seats of Delhi in the past 3 Lok Sabha elections. The same party, however, was unable to score double digits in the assembly elections that took place months after the Lok Sabha polls in 2014 and 2019. For the BJP, the assembly election is a prestige battle. It has been out of power in Delhi for 25 years. For AAP, a party that took birth in the anti-corruption protest backed by the middle class, the assembly polls are a fight for survival. Evidently, the middle class will have a big say in who wins this Delhi dangal. With Amit Bharadwaj and Himanshu Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so why is it that we on News Today are debating the vote of the middle class in Delhi? To put the premise right there, viewers, according to the CSDS survey, in 2015, 55% of that vote, middle class, had gone to the Aam Aadmi Party, which fell just 2% to 53%. That vote for the BJP from 35% in 2015 rose to 38% in the middle class segment in 2020. The middle class is crucial in this election. Therefore, we pose the questions. Clearly, there is a race to woo the middle class. Who is the middle class voting for this election? Do freebies influence the middle class voters at all? And does the middle class feel ignored by our Netas? Let's take these questions to our analysts this evening. Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist; Jasmine Shah, national spokesperson, Aam Aadmi Party; Sanju Verma, national spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party; Dr. Ajoy Kumar, spokesperson, Congress. Jasmine Shah, today you had Arvind Kejriwal from the Aam Aadmi Party detail a 7-point agenda. It was a demand manifesto of sorts, asking the centre to factor in the middle class when it comes down to the budget, which will be announced on the 1st of February. Jasmine Shah, the question can be flipped. What is it that the Aam Aadmi Party has done for the middle class in Delhi? Number one, their roads in residential colonies are in a terrible condition, is what they say. Number two, if you're going to give them direct cash transfers, they don't qualify for that. So that 2100 is something that the women of the middle class will not be getting. Whether you speak of 200 units free electricity, they are definitely consuming more than 200 units. So they are not availing of that scheme either. They aspire to go to private hospitals, not mohalla clinics. Lastly, when it comes down to education, because you speak so much of the education model, the middle class is aspirational. They are hoping to get their kids into private schools, like your very own Manish Sisodia, who had his child study in a private school. What is it that the Aam Aadmi Party is doing for the middle class, Jasmine Shah?
Thank you, Preeti. And I would like to first start by reminding your viewers that the only reason India Today and all other channels are today talking about even the middle class of India is because Arvind Kejriwal made this to be an issue. Today, BJP's entire narrative, the whole day they have spent abusing the Punjabi community. They literally called the entire community as a threat. You know, they said that a lot of Punjabis are coming to Delhi before 26 January and therefore there should be a check on that. I mean, so easily they have casted, called almost a terrorist to the entire people from Punjab, and that is what BJP's narrative was. But it was the Aam Aadmi Party that is, as always, we are the ones who are actually talking about the welfare of the people of Delhi. I'm very glad you asked these questions about what has AAP done, and I'll talk about it. Over the last 10 years, Preeti, the first and foremost, the AAP government has given the middle class the relief from inflation. Today, the biggest trouble that the middle classes have is inflation, breakthrough inflation. 40 रुपए का पेट्रोल होने की बात हो रही थी. Today we are at 100 rupees. You look at LPG cylinders, all of that. But when it comes to electricity, Arvind Kejriwal provides the cheapest electricity anywhere in India. I'll just give you an example, and this is verified data. In Delhi, if you're consuming 400 units of electricity, you will pay only 950 rupees. But if you consume 400 units in Bombay, which comes under BJP, you will pay 4,500 rupees, 4.5x. If you consume that in Bangalore, which is Congress rule, you will pay 3,000 rupees. So 400 units, up to 400 units, there is partial subsidy. So 90% of Delhi falls under it. Therefore, the middle class benefits from it. Not just that, we provide 24/7 electricity. Go to Gurgaon, Noida, all these states which are surrounding Delhi, which are ruled by BJP, you see 7 hours, 8 hours of power cuts. Everybody has a diesel generator in their house. We have also provided mohalla clinics. And I must tell you, Preeti, I must correct you that mohalla clinics, first of all, see a footfall of 2 crore patients every year. And lot of middle class colonies are today seeing, the demand from all the clinics are coming from posh colonies like GK or CR Park. So it is not fair to say that middle class does not get healthcare benefits. Plus, we have now announced the Sanjeevani Yojana. For the first time, any government is in India is saying that above 60 years of age, every senior citizen will get all their healthcare free, be it in private or Sarkari hospital. And sorry, no 5 lakh rupees cover limit which Ayushman imposes. We have also built the infrastructure, because that is obviously which will take Delhi forward. We have doubled the length of Delhi Metro from 200 to 400 kilometers in just 10 years. We have built 38 flyovers in 10 years when only 62 flyovers were built in 60 years. We have added classrooms. We've added 22,000 classrooms. 4 lakh children have left private schools. These are middle class children who were studying in private schools, but they find Arvind Kejriwal schools as good or better than private schools. So numerous ways we have worked, and therefore today we can ask the question, let the BJP say, why is it not doing anything for the middle class? What is it? Tell me 5 things that BJP has done for the middle class.
All right, okay, that's for the BJP to answer. Let's take that question to the Bharatiya Janata Party. The point is, Sanju Verma, that in Delhi, the Bharatiya Janata faces the middle class conundrum. And I'll tell you why, and I think you know that as well. The middle class usually has seen a dyed-in-wool BJP voter, usually, mostly. But what happens is the same middle class that votes Prime Minister Modi or the BJP during Lok Sabha turns around and votes Arvind Kejriwal during Vidhan Sabha. Now, the proof of that, 53% of the middle class voted Arvind Kejriwal in 2020. 55% middle class voted Arvind Kejriwal in 2015. So therefore, when an Arvind Kejriwal, technically, there is an election to prove whether he's still the poster boy of the Delhi middle class where a state election is concerned, asks questions of the central government, there needs to be, some understanding that it could damage you politically.
Preeti, you asked a very interesting question, and without beating around the bush, let me first put some facts out there for the benefit of your audience. What has the Modi government done for the middle class? Very quickly, I will give out some points in 30 seconds. And specifically relating to taxation, because tax is what the middle class is most worried about, and rightfully so. Don't forget that 10 years back, the income tax exemption limit was rupees 2 lakh per annum. Today, it is 3 lakh per annum. Don't forget that the tax rebate 10 years back was 2,000 rupees. Today, it is 25,000 rupees. The standard deduction 10 years back was 0. Today, it is 75,000 rupees. Earlier, the 30% tax bracket kicked in at 15 lakh rupees. Today, the 30% tax bracket kicks in at a much higher income bracket. Also, don't forget that the average taxation for persons earning 9 to 12 lakh rupees earlier was 33%, including surcharges. Today, it is down to barely 10%, including surcharges. Also, don't forget that if you were earning 5 lakh rupees per annum, earlier, you used to pay tax to the tune of 18,540 rupees annually. Today, if your income is 5 lakh rupees annually, your tax liability is 0. You heard that right, it is 0. If your income is 7.75 lakh rupees per annum, your tax liability earlier was 66,950 rupees. Today, your tax liability is 0 because of the higher tax rebate available. Earlier, if your income was rupees 10 lakh per annum, your tax liability was 113,300 rupees, roughly 1.13 lakh rupees. Today, with an annual income of 10 lakh rupees, your tax liability is only 44,200 rupees. And earlier, if your income was 15 lakh rupees, your tax liability was 2,57,500 rupees. Today, with an annual income of 15 lakh rupees, your tax liability is only 1.3 lakh rupees. Earlier, if your income was 20 lakh rupees per annum, your tax liability was 412,000 rupees. Today, it is only 278,200 rupees. But most importantly, Delhi ke Janata ke liye, Preeti, because what Modi government has done for the middle class is out there in the public domain. But I just want to remind your viewers, and very quickly in 20 seconds, what the Aam Aadmi Party has done for the middle class. And this is not Sanju Verma or Narendra Modi saying it. This is the CAG report, and CAG is the constitutional body, via Article 148 of the Constitutional. So I challenge the Aam Aadmi Party to undermine the credibility of the CAG. CAG report says this: आम आदमी पार्टी के बहुत ही आम नेता अरविंद केजरीवाल पर जिनके शौक बड़े खास हैं, कर्टन 5.6 crore rupees in Sheesh Mahal, TV worth 64 lakh rupees, loudspeaker worth 4.5 lakh rupees, massage chair 4 lakh rupees, sofa 10 lakh rupees, LED television 19.5 lakh rupees, fridge 9 lakh rupees, oven 15 lakh rupees, boiler 22.5 lakh rupees, sanitary fittings 15 crore, shower 1.2 crore, door 70 lakh, pillars 36 lakh, coffee machine 2.5 lakh, washing machine 2.1 lakh, chimney 3 lakh. And ये जो यहाँ बैठकर मोहल्ला क्लिनिक की बात कर रहे थे, 1 minute. The Anti-Corruption Bureau says that more than 65,000 lab tests that were done in Mohalla clinics were
Allow her
failed.
to finish.
More than 65,000.
I'll come back to you, sir. I'll circle back to you. So, ma'am, 10
Preeti,
seconds,
can I
please
finish?
finish. Yes, 10
Yes.
seconds.
10 seconds. Your audience needs to know the CAG report has said more than 65,000 lab tests done in Delhi's Mohalla clinics were fake. And this has been endorsed by the Anti-Corruption Bureau.
Okay.
And over 1 lakh
All right,
classes,
okay.
9,50,000
Okay, ma'am,
students.
hold on to that thought now. Hold on to that thought. I want to bring in all the list, whichever. I want to bring in Dr. Ajoy Kumar into this conversation. I'll come back to you, Jasmine. And, let me circle back to you. Dr. Ajoy Kumar, the middle class really isn't a problem for the Congress, is that you lost it in 2014. You're yet to get even a fraction of the middle class. So when it comes down to the Delhi voter, it's okay. You can vie for, what was the vote of the minority or the Dalit vote. And seemingly your campaign is engineered towards that. Even you're not really addressing the questions or the issues or the problems of the middle class.
No, so it's very interesting that how we are defining the middle class. 95%, if you're earning more than 25,000 rupees, Preeti, in this country per month, you're on the top 10%. So what are you talking? I mean, I was hearing my colleagues, spokesperson speaking from the BJP and others. The situation is if you earn 25,000, so just hold it, the income tax benefit, it doesn't reach 95% of the people because it's 25,000 rupees per person. So even if Delhi's got a slightly screwed of the center, distribution, it would be 7 to 8%. 93% of Delhiites are not impacted by income tax. What are they impacted by? They're impacted by the GST. Look at the food inflation. Look at the cost of milk. Look at the cost of clothing. Look at the past 10 years. So whatever the Bharatiya, I will come to what the Aam Aadmi Party has said, but whatever the Bharatiya Janata Party is saying, the middle class has paid 17, the majority, the Indians have paid 17 lakh crores. Out of that, the middle class, whatever the percentage of total population of India has paid that significant amount. But the impact is school fees in the past 10 years has increased by 100%. Milk cost is 80%. Medicine is over 140%. The Wipro engine, the software engineer who was earning 3.5 lakh rupees in 2014, joining, is earning 3,60,000 in 2024. So the question again, Preeti, is very rich when we say middle class is impacted. Because middle class is not you, not Jasmine, one side, not you, not the panelists on the show. Our definition of middle class is so generous. If you earn 20, so I mean, it's, and we need to understand that 90%, I again saying it, that 10% of Indians, you're the richest 10% of Indians if you earn more than 25,000 rupees per month. And all these commentaries, what impacts the middle class?
Okay.
50%, 50% railway concession, gone. GST on soap, on food, on hotel, on everything else, and every item. And it's somewhere between 18 to 24%. The fact is that the impact of middle class, just look, all governments have realized this, that the money is not available for the middle class in terms of saving. That's why when you give 80 crore free food grains, you're actually giving, one sec, if you're giving 80 crore free food grains, you're also giving it to a significant middle class. What is the middle class expecting? Electricity, definitely savings impact them. Now, Jasmine will go under and say that, 400 units in, in Delhi is great savings for them, etc., etc. They have different states doing different things. Grey Lakshmi scheme in Karnataka does a significant amount of, one sec, I'll just take 30 seconds and close. Direct benefit transfers to people, whether it is the Grey Lakshmi scheme, free buses, even the farmers and the other subsidies are okay. I mean, I'm not saying that, but those are impacting the middle class because the middle class is actually dying with the food inflation, the school fee inflation, the cost of travel, the cost of transportation has increased by 180%. What was costing a ticket for you in 2014 is increased by 180%. So the middle class.
Okay,
and
but
the
Dr. Rajoy Kumar, I'm going to bring in an expert, but yes, I will tell you with what you also touched upon is that very briefly that the numbers or the statistic of the middle class is very skewed or different where Delhi is concerned vis-a-vis India. What you spoke about 25,000 in Delhi, it's about 70,000 rupees, and that is what the middle class falls in, 50 to 75,000 rupees. Number one. Number two, Dr. Rajoy Kumar, I'll circle back to you on that question, and maybe you can provide us an answer. If the Congress has got down the issues of the middle class down pat, then why is it that in 2020 elections, less than 3% of Delhiites who come from the middle class voted for the Congress? I'll bring in Amitabh Tiwari into this conversation till then. Amitabh Tiwari, it's something we've discussed ad nauseum, and it's very, very interesting because every state election, city-state, Delhi, has a different dynamic. While we speak of, various segments in other states, in Delhi, the proverbial middle class that is, spoken of so little, catered to of so little, never quite appeased, always, in the back end, suddenly finds itself in the spotlight. And the reason is how in 2015, 2020, Amitabh Tiwari, about 55% and 53% of that vote went to the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah, so why is the middle class voter back in the focus is because the middle class voter also switches between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party between a Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha election. And this has been happening for the past 10 years from 2014 to 24. You mentioned 53%, 55% of middle class voters backing the Aam Aadmi Party and 35 to 39% backing the BJP in Vidhan Sabha election. However, in 2024 general election, 50% of the middle class voted for the BJP, 32% for the AAP, and 16% for the Congress. So here BJP took the lead. Now BJP is raising or upping the ante against the Ligargate allegations and the Sheesh Mahal allegations. Now going by the trend, this set of a section of the middle class voters who voted for the BJP are likely to move towards AAP because of its party with a difference, anti-corruption plank, etc. And Aam Aadmi Party fears that this might not happen this time. See, middle class were the original backers of the Aam Aadmi Party. The poor and the lower socio-economic class joined the bandwagon later when it announced schemes for them. Because this is the core of the philosophy of the Aam Aadmi Party. So the Aam Aadmi Party realizes that this shift might not happen to the extent which it has happened in the past. Now 54% Aam Aadmi Party got and BJP got 39% vote share in 2020 Vidhan Sabha election, which means a lead of 15%. As per my research, 6% of this is coming from the middle class and 9% from the poor and socio-economic class. So if this 6% does not come back to Aam Aadmi Party in terms of lead, Aam Aadmi Party could be in trouble because just a 6% swing is required for BJP to just scrape through this election basis the 2020 Vidhan Sabha election results. That is why it is preempting and trying to pressurize BJP that or highlight its vision for the middle class, showcasing that if the BJP does not provide some relief to the middle class, then it would claim that the BJP is anti-middle class, and if the BJP gives some relief, then it would try to take some credit. Even in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, BJP's support from the middle class at the national level had declined by 3%. Before any budget, there is some discontent and rumblings within the middle class that they are reeling under the impact of high inflation and high taxes. And why is this happening is because in the last 5 years, for the first time in Indian history, the corporate income tax collections are lower than the personal income tax collections. The personal income tax collection, which only 2% of the Indian population is paying, has become higher than the corporate tax collection, and that has led to the discontent. Okay. And that is what the Aam Aadmi Party is trying to explore.
Well, that's what the Aam Aadmi Party is trying to exploit, Jasmine Shah. And not just that, you are scared with Amitabh Tiwari detailed of your total vote percentage, 6% coming in from the middle class might swing, especially at the back of corruption taint or charges, allegations. allegations of the expenditure that you've made on the alleged Sheesh Mahal, all of that would create the perfect political storm for the BJP to take that 6% away.
Preeti, that's only wishful thinking on behalf of BJP, because the people of Delhi know that there is absolutely no substance to any of these allegations. I mean, think about this. For the last 2 years, more than 500 raids done on Aam Aadmi Party leaders, everybody put behind bars under a draconian PMLA law. And what happens eventually? Not a single rupee of recovery, and eventually everybody is on bail. In fact, the Supreme Court pulls up BJP and ED CBI saying you have become a caged parrot. So people, I would say actually that this has now turned into sympathy. That here was a chief minister actually working for the middle classes, keeping the electricity tariffs in check, water was free, bus rides for women was free, free healthcare, education. As I said, 4 lakh children from expensive private schools have come into government schools. So people are seeing this. But today, why is it the BJP hesitating? And I'm glad, by the way, that Amitabh Tiwari pointed out that corporates have become the note bank of BJP, and that is and middle class realizes that. Paisa ATM is the middle class and corporates are the note banks. आप उनसे पैसे कमाओ electoral bond पे and you give them huge relief. 15 lakh crores of loans written off of the corporate sector. 1 lakh crore corporate tax cut given in 2019, as Amitabh said, for the last 5 years. What has the middle class gone? GST imposed on each and every item under the sun. We have asked one question today. Even on health insurance, why did BJP have to put GST? Can Sanju Verma in this show says that no, health insurance pe GST nahi lagna chahiye tha, and she will request her ministers and her government to take it back. Why is it that, for senior citizens, all senior citizens, healthcare is not free? Why is it that you're not investing in education and healthcare so that middle classes can avail of these facilities? Even in Ayushman Yojana, Preeti, it only caters for the bottom 10 or 20%, because if you have a two-wheeler, if you have a fridge, if you have a pakka house, you're not eligible for health cover. So middle class केवल पैसे देने के लिए सुविधाएं कौन देगा? That is the question that BJP is running over, and that is why they keep raking these false allegations. They will never tell the people of India and the people of Delhi, what have you done? Income tax is a very small proportion.
Sanju Verma, the allegation, the BJP has taken its middle class vote bank for granted. You've taken your middle class vote bank for granted, and you're hoping to leverage that.
You know, Preeti, first and foremost, let's get this very clear. As recently as December 2024, Delhi High Court, bench led by Justice Manmohan Singh, he has said that there are 6.5 lakh municipal schools in Delhi where Kejriwal, failed to provide uniforms and NCERT textbooks to school children. More than 1 lakh people failed in class 9 and more than 50,000 failed in class 11 in government schools run by Kejriwal and his darbaris. ये संजू वर्मा नहीं कह रही, फटकार लगाई है दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने केजरीवाल को एक बार नहीं बार-बार. As for Kejriwal being out on bail, the same Supreme Court said his bail has been given.
Let's go one by one. Allow him. Can I just get Sanju Verma? Okay.
Can I just finish?
Make your point. You have 30 seconds, ma'am.
No, I need to be alone on the screen like the Aam Aadmi Party panelist was.
We'll get you alone on the screen like he was. Okay. We'll have every one of you alone. Go ahead. Sanju Verma, go ahead.
Thank you, Preeti. Preeti, now let me make one thing very clear. That the same Supreme Court which granted bail to Arvind Kejriwal also said the bail was given only on technical and procedural grounds and not on merits of the case. And the most important point is this, that ये जो बार-बार यहाँ GST की बात होती है, I am saying this and I would request anyone to challenge me because these are the hard facts which you can find on the Finance Ministry's website. There is zero GST. I repeat, zero GST on unbranded rice, atta, oats, besan, maida, poha, suji, dal, bajra, ragi, cereals, fruits, vegetables, bread, unprocessed milk, buttermilk, curd, fresh eggs, poultry, meat, fish, chicken. If these items of essential and daily use are pre-labeled and pre-packaged, then there is a 5% GST. And again, the website of the ministry says there are 1,291 items of mass consumption, out of which 28% GST is levied on only 26 items. By the way, let me remind the Aam Aadmi Party, Preeti, because I will not allow this debate to be digressed from. The annual, GSDP of Punjab is around 7.5 to 8 lakh crore. The annual budgetary outlay of Punjab is 3 lakh crore. Please, Preeti, can I just take 30 seconds? The annual budgetary outlay of Punjab is 3 lakh crore. The annual expenses are 2.5 lakh crore, which means 83% of your budgetary outlay is annual expenses, and you have pushed Punjab into the throes of bankruptcy. And as far as the Congress is concerned, let me remind the Congress, in Karnataka they said, free anaj denge, free bijli denge.
Okay, ma'am, 30 seconds over. Okay, I want to bring it.
Please.
Okay.
I have 20 seconds left.
Ma'am, no, 30 seconds. I've timed you.
Thanks to the khat model. Can I take 20 seconds? Thank you.
Dr. Ajoy Kumar, to bring you in.
Thank you. Can I just take
Ma'am, no, ma'am. I need to file out of the debate. Everyone's getting equal time. Allow me to bring in Dr. Ajoy Kumar. Dr. Ajoy Kumar, would you care to answer my question? Because today, it seems everyone has come with their notes prepared. Nobody wants to take questions. Why is it that the middle class is alienated by the Congress? Because you seem to suggest that the Congress knows exactly what ails the middle class, but 3% in Delhi voted for the middle class voted for the Congress. 2020.
So let me disabuse you that the voting is not purely dependent on the middle class. Also doesn't vote only on their class issues. There's so many issues. You continue to spread communal hatred. You continue to politicize issues. You continue to spread lies. So the upper class, why are they voting, or the lower class, why they're voting, are different issues. So voting and middle class issues are two different, but we understand that well. My colleague from the BJP, what about professional college fees, 18% GST? Has anybody in Delhi bought unbranded milk? Everything is in a package. So the question again is,
please,
madam,
everyone accord the same courtesy that your panelists accord you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So please request, it's very cantankerous to just get through. So I like what Amitabh said, and Amitabh Tiwari made a lot of valid points. The fact is, how can the personal income tax of 2% be more than the corporate tax? It's like MAGA, like Trump world happening in India. The fact is that the 2% of India, which is majority 80% of middle class, are paying an income tax which is more than the super fat cats of the industries across. And that is where the issue is, where the government is running out of money. Apart from that, the GST on medical college fees, on engineering college fees, on everything on funeral items, they won't even let you die in peace. So fact is, you need to relook at the middle class impact of tax. The tax is actually finishing them, and there is not enough jobs. Their salaries are getting lower, and they're getting overburdened. And last, 2014, look at the percentage of expenditure of middle class on a GST. If you was spending 100 rupees, the GST would have been close to 7 to 8%. Now it is close to 18 to 20%. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Amitabh Tiwari, to get you in for a final word in, this election, of course, there are issues where the middle class has been invoked. In 3 days from now, Amitabh Tiwari, that you're going to get Yogi Adityanath on the ground, and he's definitely going to invoke, the card of Hindutva, which most of the middle class, even in Delhi, holds very close to its heart. Do you think, taking off from what Dr. Ajoy Kumar also suggested, that the middle class doesn't just vote for fiscal issues and other issues, but also emotive ones?
Yeah, so essentially emotive issues will also have a role or play a role, because religious polarization will play a role. We've seen Aam Aadmi Party also adopt a soft Hindutva approach here, giving or rather promising an honorarium for pujaris and granthis. So what is happening is that out of the 15% lead, if you break it up into religion, 10% is coming from Muslims, 2% from Sikhs, and only 3% from Hindus. Because Aam Aadmi Party leads by a small margin amongst the Hindus, primarily lower OBCs and Dalits, and by bigger margin amongst the minorities, and that's what gives it a lead. So with religious polarization, the BJP would hope that the Hindu votes consolidate behind the BJP, the lead which the Aam Aadmi Party has amongst the Hindus reduces, and it hopes that the Congress party makes a dent into the minority vote bank of the BJP.
And a huge
that's
chunk,
what it is.
right?
It
And a
is-
huge chunk. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, Amitabh. You know, we've run out of time, but a huge chunk of that. Ma'am, I've run out of time. Everyone has got equal time. I need to quickly cut across to our other section right now, which is what really Delhi is thinking, because we can get spokespersons, analysts ad nauseum on the show. But what do the people think? Well, a lot of my colleagues and I have been on ground filing reports. Here was an excerpt from a Dhobi Ghat, which falls in the New Delhi constituency. कहाँ से हैं माधव जी आप?
हम बिहार से हैं।
कब से हैं दिल्ली में?
दिल्ली में हम 2018 से हैं।
तो वोट तो अब दिल्ली में बन गया होगा?
नहीं, मेरा वोट यहाँ का नहीं है, हमारा बिहार का ही है।
दिल्ली का राजनीति देखते हैं या कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है?
देखते हैं, राजनीति में तो बहुत इंटरेस्ट है। अभी इस बार बीजेपी का लहर है, वही आ रहा है बहुमत से।
लग रहा है बीजेपी आएगा?
लग नहीं, पूरा क्लियर हो गया है। हम पहाड़गंज में रहते हैं, तो इस हिसाब से आप बताते हैं, देख के वहाँ का माहौल लग रहा है जो बीजेपी का इस बार।
आपको पसंद है बीजेपी?
हाँ, पसंद है।
अरविंद केजरीवाल कैसा दिखते हैं? झाड़ू का जो पूरा
वो भी अच्छे हैं। इस कॉलोनी में सारे अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के वोट हैं। ये है धोबी समाज को मिला हुआ है।
अच्छा।
टाइप 4 कहते हैं इसे, एनडीएम से।
अच्छा। तो यहाँ ये सारा अरविंद केजरीवाल का वोट है?
हाँ, यहाँ
इस बार इधर ही जा रहा है या कहीं और जा रहा है?
क्या होगा ये थोड़ी बता सकते हैं, और हवा बन रहा है वो सब आप लोग को भी मालूम होगा।
हमें तो कुछ नहीं मालूम, इसीलिए आपसे पूछते हैं। क्या मालूम होता है पत्रकार को? कोई आइडिया नहीं रहता। वोट डालते हैं आप सर?
बिल्कुल डालते हैं।
क्या सोच के वोट डालते हैं? क्या मतलब क्या?
अपनी तरक्की के लिए जी, कि हमारे जो लोग हैं थोड़ा ऊपर उठे, उनके लिए कुछ किया जाए।
किसी भी पार्टी ने या नेता ने किया है ये?
हाँ, कांग्रेस करके गई थी। ये जो बिल्डिंग पीछे हमारे क्वार्टर्स हैं, ये भी वही दे के गई है। कांग्रेस ही करके गई है जी। अभी तो और पार्टी तो कोई कुछ किया ही नहीं किसी ने। बातों के बताशे बना के चले आते।
जो पार्टी अभी है पावर में, आम आदमी पार्टी, झाड़ू ने कुछ किया है?
हाँ, ये छोटे मोटे काम तो कराती रहती है वो भी,
छोटे मोटे,
जैसे कि पानी की सप्लाई वगैरह उसी की है सब।
अच्छा, ये सारा
और फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट है।
अच्छा, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट।
हाँ, इसके लिए हमारे को शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहिए उनका। इसी बात में
तो भाजपा बीजेपी पे कुछ विश्वास
अभी हाथ पे आई नहीं है।
आई नहीं है तो
पहले आई थी, वो मदन लाल खुराना जी थे।
अरे वो तो बहुत है।
हाँ, उसके बाद में साहिब सिंह वर्मा जी आए हैं। तो ये सब जाते रहे। सुषमा स्वराज नहीं बनी कभी आके। काम जो करेगा वही तो आएगा जी, है कि नहीं? आप कहीं काम करेंगे, अच्छी बातें करेंगे तो आपको लोग ज्यादा लाइक करेंगे।
सही बात।
ये है जी, आजकल की राजनीति भी ऐसी है, लोग भी ऐसे समझदार हो गए।
कैसी समझदारी?
समझदारी यही कि हमको किसको आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए, किसको नहीं बढ़ाना चाहिए।
जो समाज के लिए करे,
समाज के लिए करे, हमारे परिवार के लिए करे, उसको आगे बढ़ाता है।
चुनाव के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है इस बार?
0 नंबर है चुनाव भी।
है
0 नंबर।
किसके 0 नंबर?
सबके। कोई नेता काम नहीं करता। कोई करता है?
वोट तो डालते हो गया?
वोट डालते हैं।
किसी पार्टी ने नहीं किया आज तक का?
बिजली का बिल भी हमारा ना कमर्शियल लगा रहे हैं। जब कांग्रेस का रास्ता है कुछ नहीं था भाई साहब।
कुछ नहीं था माने?
यानी बिजली सस्ती थी, बढ़िया काम होता था, सारे काम होते थे। 15 साल में अभी तक कोई भी काम नहीं हुआ। देख के जाते और आ जाते। जैसे आप आ गए ना, वैसे नेता भी आ जाते।
सिर्फ चुनाव के वक्त? वो तो सही है, हम चुनाव के वक्त ही आते हैं।
गवर्नमेंट फेल है।
किसको आना चाहिए?
देखो, है तो दिल्ली ना, मुख्यमंत्री के अंडर में आती है ना। हाँ। ये भी दिल्ली है ना, नई दिल्ली। हाँ। केंद्र गवर्नमेंट का अपने कानून अलग, और एमसीडी में बड़ी फैसिलिटी है। बिजली का बिल सस्ता है, पानी सस्ता है।
एमसी में दिक्कत है। किससे परेशान है?
केंद्र सरकार से जी।
केंद्र से? राज्य से नहीं है?
नहीं, राज्य सरकार बड़ा काम अच्छा कर रहा है केजरीवाल।
ये बताइए, जो काफी कुछ बीजेपी कह रही है आजकल कि केजरीवाल ने इतना पैसा अपने घर में लगाया, केजरीवाल ने।
आप रह रहे हो एक जगह पे, आपका घर है, आप तो लगाओगे पैसा। भाई उसका घर है, जैसा मर्जी रखे, अपने घर को बढ़िया से बढ़िया रखे। हर कोई चाहता है कि मेरा बच्चा अच्छा पढ़े, अच्छा घर हो, अच्छी फैसिलिटी मिले।
कब से है यहाँ पर?
मैं यहाँ पर सन 71 से मुझे।
यहाँ की राजनीति कैसे देखते हैं?
नहीं देख पाता।
देखते ही नहीं है?
नहीं, मैं तो झूठ क्यों बोलूँगा, समय नहीं है मैडम जी।
वोट डालते हैं?
हाँ, वोट देता हूँ। पहले मैं कांग्रेस को देता था, अब उनको देता हूँ, केजरीवाल जी को जी।
क्या सोच के देते हैं?
ये हमारा घाट बंद होने वाला था जी।
अच्छा, ये घाट बंद होने वाला?
हाँ जी, वो सिर्फ पैसों के माध्यम से। बिजली का बिल जो है ना हमारा बहुत ज्यादा हो गया था। हाँ जी, सभी घाटों का 4 करोड़ से ऊपर था जी।
अच्छा।
तो एक शीला दीक्षित जी के पास गए थे, मगर उन्होंने जो ना स्पष्ट शब्दों में मना कर दिया था मैडम जी, मगर केजरीवाल जी आए थे, कहते मैं जीतूं या हारूं मगर मैं आपके पानी का पैसा कम करा के रखूंगा जी। किया मैडम जी, पूरा माफ करा जी पैसा उन्होंने। अब जो पानी हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं ये उन्हीं के फंड से हम लोग इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं।
केंद्र पे विश्वास नहीं है, राज्य सरकार पे विश्वास।
हमें केजरीवाल जी पे विश्वास है जी।
वोट डालते हैं।
पहले तो हम कांग्रेस से वाले थे, कांग्रेस की देन है जो हम लोग यहाँ बसे हुए हैं।
और अब
आम आदमी चल रहा है जी।
आम आदमी है तो झाड़ू पे विश्वास है
जी। हमें तो इतने फ्री बिजली भी दी थी, सब कुछ दिया था, 200 यूनिट फ्री बिजली भी दे रहा था।
इस बार आपको लग रहा है झाड़ू ही है?
हमारा तो जी झाड़ू की तरफ होता है, बाकी कहीं जीते कोई भी।
पार्टी का नाम मतलब है।
पार्टी आ गया।
Glaring lapses now have emerged in the Saif Ali Khan attack probe. While there is little clarity on how the attacker entered the Kapoor Khan residence, we still do not know how the attacker managed to flee. Questions have now been raised on the accused. Shariful. Here's the full report.
Looking sharp, walking straight, a thumbs up and a wave. Actor Saif Ali Khan returned to his Satguru Sharan residence in Bandra, Mumbai on Tuesday. Before being discharged from the Lilavati hospital where the actor underwent surgery for his stab wounds, Saif Ali Khan met the auto driver who brought him to the hospital in the wee hours of the 16th of January. The actor is safe and sound, but the mystery around the events that unfolded on that fateful night remain. In fact, they've become much bigger. It has now emerged that the accused, Shariful Islam, alias Vijay Das, hid in the garden around Saif and Karina's building for nearly 2 hours after the stabbing incident, say the police. What's more, he managed to flee using the same route through which he entered the house, says the police. The accused gained entry into the actor's building here by scaling its compound wall and went inside the main entrance. You heard that right, through the main entrance. But how? Because the 2 security guards, we are told, in the building were asleep. One was sleeping in his cabin and the other near the gate. The other big question that has baffled fans on and off the internet is the man caught on CCTV cameras the same man who's been identified as Saif's attacker and arrested? Look at the 2 pictures carefully. You decide.
Interestingly, the investigating officer probing the attack on Saif Ali Khan has been changed. Initially, it was Police Inspector Sudarshan Gaikwad who was probing the attack on Saif Ali Khan. Now, PI Lingnurkar has been brought in to investigate the case. Is there more to this case than meets the eye? With camera person Nitin Varne, this is Divyesh Singh in Mumbai for India Today.
All right. Meanwhile, in Tamil Nadu, villagers of Madurai district are protesting against a tungsten mining project. They say that the mining poses a threat to the region's ecology and historical sites. Now, the centre has intervened in the matter. They met with farmers and other political leaders. Take a look at this report.
Thousands of farmers from across Madurai hit the streets on Tuesday. They are on a mission to save Arittapatti village, the state's first biodiversity site, and its adjoining areas where many rock-cut temples are found. The protesters are demanding the central government scrap the tungsten mining rights given to the Vedanta group. The project, according to them, is a threat to the ecology of the region and the historical sites.
பிறந்த வளர்ந்த மண்ணில இருந்து எப்படி என்னால இந்த ஊரை விட்டு போக முடியும்? நாங்க சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து இங்க இருந்து பிறந்து வளர்ந்தது அப்படியே ஒரு ஊரை விட்டு நாங்க எப்படி போக முடியும்? இங்க பூரா கிளம்புன்னு சொன்னாங்க. நாங்க வேற இடம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது எங்களுக்கு. எங்களுக்கு சொத்து எல்லாமே இந்த ஊர் தான். அதை விட்டு நாங்க எப்படி போக முடியும்?
இது வந்து மக்கள் ரொம்ப பயப்பட ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. சரிண்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் மேலூர்ல ஒரு கூட்டம் போட்டாங்க. பெரிய அளவில் போராட்டம் பண்ணோம். அப்படின்றப்ப மத்திய அரசு வந்து இது வரைக்கும் எதுவுமே தகவல் கொடுக்கல. ஆனால் மாநில அரசு வந்து சட்டசபையிலே தீர்மானம் போட்டாங்க, அந்த மாதிரி டங்ஸ்டன் வந்து எடுக்க விட மாட்டோம். அது முதலமைச்சர் ஐயா, அமைச்சர் எல்லாருமே சொன்னாங்க, இந்த மாதிரி அப்படி டங்ஸ்டன் நாங்கள் இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் எது எடுக்க விட மாட்டோம், அப்படி எடுத்தா நாங்கள் எங்கள் பதவியை ராஜினாமா பண்ணிக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க.
The central government had issued bids for the tungsten mining project in November last year. The Tamil Nadu Assembly in December passed a resolution backed by all parties, including the BJP, demanding the project be scrapped.
This is a place that has been decided to come under a block for mining tungsten. And this is when the villagers who have settled in Aritapatti have decided to protect it under any cost. There are at least 48 villages surrounding this place, and they claim that if this area, there's going to be tungsten mining that is going to occur, it's going to completely destroy this area. It's going to take away the water resources, and not just 48 villages, but an entire area of a district will be completely destroyed.
A delegation of protesters from Aritapatti met Union Minister Kishan Reddy in Delhi on Wednesday. A final decision on the project is expected soon. With Pramod Madhav, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, with that, it is a wrap on News Today at 9 p.m. But we do leave you with some good news. Monika's journey from a small village in Bihar to winning Kho-Kho World Cup is nothing short of inspirational. Yet, despite her success, her family continues to struggle with basic needs. Monika's victory highlights a stark irony in India: glory on the field, hardship at home. We leave you with this.
From this humble home to World Cup triumph, Monika has covered a long distance. Hailing from Dibaha village near Naugachia in Bihar, Monika was a member of the Indian women's Kho-Kho team that defeated Nepal in the final held in Delhi to clinch the title. At home, her father Vinod Saha, who sold vegetables in Delhi till a few months ago, fondly speaks about his daughter's determination.
जब वो खेल कूद में जाने लगी तो टीचर बोलते थे उसका मैडम कि इनको कोई काम नहीं करवाना, या पढ़ के जाएगी वो अपने टाइम से आएगी। महसूस हो रहा है अब कि सर अच्छा किया है वो। मैं कुछ नहीं किए हैं, सो बात सही है, लेकिन लड़की हमको भविष्य अच्छा कर दिया है अब।
Inside their house that is still to be completed, Monika's mother laments the lack of resources.
मेरे सरकार मदद करे, मेरे बच्चे बहुत सब दिन से बहुत कठिनाई कर रहे हैं, यहाँ खेती बत्ती करते थे। मैं छोड़ दो, मत खेलो, अब कुछ काम कर ले करके, नहीं मम्मी मैं नहीं खेल करूँ, काम नहीं करूँगा, मैं तो अपनी मंजिल खड़ा करूँगा, देश का नाम रोशन करूँगा।
Basking under Monika's glory, the family now hopes to benefit from government welfare schemes like PM Awas Yojana and Ujjwala Yojana. With Sujit Kumar, Bureau Report, India Today.